Today is the fourth Sunday of Easter. Our Gospel text is John chapter 10, verses 1 through 10. This text is part of a longer text where Jesus presents himself as the Good Shepherd. That metaphor of shepherd is a very well-worn one in the Jewish tradition. Jesus presents himself as the Good Shepherd. In this text, as in other places in John's Gospel, Jesus, scholars claim, reminds us that he's in the great tradition of Sinai. He uses the expression, I am the Good Shepherd. I am the gate. Twice he says that. In other places in the Gospel, I am the light of the world. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the vine, etc. Scholars say this is no accident that he uses that expression. It is rather a reminder to his listeners that the great revelation of Sinai is being brought to fruition here, through him, with him, and in him. God's being in the flesh, which is clearly a huge truth for the people to accept, given the great mystery of the God who is utterly other. Here, God is being revealed, sovereignty in intimacy, transcendence, immanence. Now, the essential focus of Jesus' I am statements, therefore, following this line that the scholars offer us, is not the metaphor that follows, like I am the Good Shepherd or I am the gate. Yes, we must look at those. But when it comes down to it, what Jesus is saying of himself is that he is the presence. He is the way. He is allowing the great mystery of God to be here with us and for us so that we may enter into it. The doxology at Mass, remember, the end of the Eucharistic prayer, reiterates this. It's a good thing to listen carefully through him, with him, in him, that is through Jesus, with Jesus, in Jesus. Through the power of the Holy Spirit, all glory and honor is yours, Almighty Father. The incarnation, the enfleshing of God is an extension of the revelation of Sinai, a fulfilling of the promise, I am with you. What a tragedy it is when we reduce the Christ life, what is on offer here in the Gospels, in the life and death of Jesus, when we reduce that to right behavior, as if what Jesus is offering is a program of imitation, in effect. If you see me loving other people, you go out and love other people, and that will make you a Christ person. I think that is a travesty of the gospel message. It is far more profound, far more rich, far more startling than that. Jesus is saying, I am the presence of God. In my flesh, in my being in the flesh, I am fulfilling the great promise of Sinai. That means the Christ life is a question of the Spirit of Christ enabling us to become part of the great I am, to enter the mystery, to be partakers of the very nature of God. We're not going to absorb this, we'll never comprehend it, unless we take time to listen with the ear of the heart. This is momentous truth. This is far beyond anything that can be reduced to right behavior. Moral life, the appropriate behavior to which we aspire, emerges as an expression of our participation in the great I am. When Jesus says, I am the gate, we're reminded of the words he spoke to Thomas. Remember Thomas in chapter 4, or later in the Gospel, actually, chapter 14, Thomas says, how do we get to where we're going with you? Give us the address, give us the details, give us a map. Instead of a map, Jesus gives Thomas a relationship. I am the way, Thomas. I am the gate. It is by being one with me, by your uniting your life with my life, that you become a Christ person, that you become part of what is on offer. We become part of God, partakers in the divine nature. We are called to enter by the gate. Whilst the right behavior model, imitation, enables us to know exactly where we're going, enables us to be in charge, to put our name on the project, so that when we come before God, we can say, here, look, I've done it really well. Jesus offers us a metaphor in the gate. I am the gate, that invites us to enter a world where we're not in control, a world that is utterly God-centered, a world in which we become the enormous reality that God has made us to be. Something much more than just people who behave themselves. Something that is more like an explosion into life. Go through the gate. You won't be in control. Thank God for that.